Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lori Bradner, and I'm the Executive Director of Education. We are coming to you from the Florida Air Museum at Sun and Fun, thanks to Aviation Network, the Sun and Fun TV. You'll see that I have a young lady with me by the name of Michelle Cassidy. Well, good afternoon, Michelle. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And I understand that you are training to be one of the individuals that interview people for Sun and Fun. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how did you get sucked into this?
Well, I've been acting since June of 2008, and when I first did it, I loved it, and I figured that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, and somehow get involved. And coming here, I didn't know I'd get involved with TV, and I got introduced to Mr. Brateska, who helped me and has kind of helped me to be here right now today.
Well, that is fantastic, and I want you to know that we are absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Today, what we're going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen, is we want to introduce you. We have two special guests that are with us today to do a special talk, anything and everything you wanted to know about ballistic missiles. Do you know anything about ballistic missiles?
Oh, I don't think I know anything.
Well, you know what? Me either. So today, we're going to stay for the talk, and I've got two special guests with me, Mr. Tom Ruhlman and Mr. Frank Klatt. Between the two of them, they've got over 85 years experience, not only in dealing with missiles, but the guidance system, as well as with rocketry and propulsion systems. We are thrilled to have them here. They are longtime volunteers to Sun and Fun, and they are key members of the Florida Air Museum. So we are absolutely thrilled to have them here. Michelle, I want to say to you, thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you at Sun and Fun, and I promise you, you're going to have a great time.
Thank you. It's nice meeting you.
It's nice to meet you, too. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to seeing you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lori Bradner, and I'm the Executive Director of Education at Sun and Fun. We are broadcasting today from the Florida Air Museum at Sun and Fun, and thanks to the Florida Aviation Network, we are here today with Mr. Frank Klatt. Today, in order to give value added to our members of the Florida Air Museum, we are actually doing a special program. Mr. Klatt is here today to present for the volunteers and for the guests of the museum about missiles and about guidance systems. I would like to introduce Mr. Klatt. And Mr. Klatt, could you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, yes, I had 44 years in the aerospace industry. All in aerospace propulsion, and worked on a lot of interesting projects. The Atlas, the Thor, Jupiter, Space Shuttle, National Aerospace Plane. And so it's a pleasure to be here and work with my exhibit that I was able to put together after coming down here to volunteer.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Klatt. You just mentioned that it's your exhibit, and I was wondering if you could tell us about your involvement with Sun and Fun, because you have been one of the founding members. You've been here a long time. Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement with Sun and Fun?
Not that long, Lori. 8 years. After I retired and in Ohio, we moved down here for the winter with our RV and found Sun and Fun, found the museum. And since I had collected most of these models over my career, because I've been giving lectures on rockets and space for 40 years, and so it was obvious that they had nothing like it here, and so we set it up, and that's it.
Can you tell us a little bit about the program today? Can you give us a quick synopsis of what you're going to be talking about today?
Sure. Yes. My friend Tom worked on the guidance system for the Titan II, and I worked on the Atlas, Thor, and Jupiter, which preceded the Titan II. So it was obvious we could put together a real good program that I described the missiles in the first place, primarily this propulsion system, and then he describes the Titan guidance system and especially the Launch Control Center, which is very interesting.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to talking with you, and up next we're going to have Mr. Tom Ruhlman. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the Florida Air Museum. Thank you so much. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually filming from the Florida Air Museum at Sun and Fun. Thank you so much to Florida Aviation Network for broadcasting and being Sun and Fun TV. You'll see in the background that we are actually broadcasting live from the Howard Hughes exhibit, one of the gems here at the Florida Air Museum. And I have a special guest with me today, Mr. Tom Ruhlman. Mr. Ruhlman is actually one of our special guests for our lecture series that we're going to be starting. And Mr. Ruhlman, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Surely. Mine started with a high school teacher that got me into electronics and ham radio, and that followed then with an electrical engineering degree. And so my first 10 or 12 years were spent in aerospace with the Titan II missile system. So Frank will be speaking on missile systems in general, and I'll speak just on Titan II.
Can you tell us a little bit more? One of the questions that I asked Mr. Klatt was in his involvement with Sun and Fun. And I know that you also are one of the founding members, and you've been here many years, and you're an integral part of the Florida Air Museum. Can you talk to us a little bit about that and your background?
Yes. As far as a founding member, I found Sun and Fun about 4 years ago. And I found it quite by accident coming to the museum, and realized it was all volunteers. And with that, we volunteered, and we've enjoyed it ever since.
Awesome. And I understand that your wife is also a very active volunteer. And can you tell us, you mentioned ham radio, and I know that you do quite a bit with the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, the students, as well as the Civil Air Patrol. Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement with ham radio and what some of the projects that you're doing here at the Florida Air Museum?
The involvement started, I guess, in 1952. That's when I first got a license. And we've got a radio club at home called the Ozaki Radio Club for Ozaki County. And there's also a radio club here in Lakeland, the Lakeland Amateur Radio Club. Presently, we're running some classes for a couple of students who will be getting their license probably in about 2 weeks. And hopefully we'll form a cadre of amateur radio operators and enthusiasts and experimenters related to the museum here.
Well, I tell you what, Mr. Ruhlman, we can't thank you enough. And we look so forward to hearing both you and Mr. Klatt speak to us. We thank you for your time and the efforts that you're putting into the Florida Air Museum and giving back not only to the community but also to the museum members. Ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to having you. We would like to invite you today at 1 o'clock down to the Florida Air Museum at Sun and Fun. We will be in front of the Space and Rocket exhibit that was designed by Mr. Klatt himself, and we look forward to seeing you there. Again, this is Lori Bradner, Executive Director of Education, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you so much, and see you at Sun and Fun.